Get this rocking. Get this rocking, Sasha. Where's my playback? Where's my playback? Keep forgetting you hooked the headphones now. I used to have the headphones here. Now we got a nice fancy hook. Oh, we're jamming. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good, Sasha. Keep my jam going. Keep my theme music rocking. Ah! Cut that shit. Cut that shit. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. No. No playback. We don't need that right now. We're good, Sasha. What up, unit? I'm rocking out on a Monday afternoon. Hopefully you guys are too. That'd be fucking great. We got some topics to go over on Amplified Live. That's L-I. Thank you, Sasha. V-E. Amplified Live, Monday, August 1st, 2022. I can't believe it's already August. Where the fuck did July go to? What happened to July? Did I blink? What the fuck happened to July? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. It's August. Usually August means we get ready for Summerslam. But that didn't happen this year, did it? They moved that a full month ahead. So here we are, man. What do we got to do? Well, first we got to get a coffee going, right, guys? I mean, we can't do anything. We're going to talk Brock Lesnar, right? Speculation that he's retiring. He tipped his cap. That's it. Then there's promotional work that has him on it. But what does it all mean? We're going to have Brock Lesnar. Another former world champion says Vince is going nowhere. Paige has her thoughts on where Sasha Naomi wind up. We got a lot of talk about Eddie Kingston, man, rattling some cages some more. I got some staggering statistics on Eddie Kingston as well if you want to stick around over the next hour. And we're going to go over Ric Flair's last match, a scary situation where he actually legit passed out during the finish of that match. You're going to hear a lot of, it was a work or this or that. No, guys, it was legit. I mean, you watch Andrade's expression. It was scary, and that's what we didn't want, right? We don't want to put... It's one thing to put your own health at risk. It's your life, your decisions. And all the moves that were performed in this match were totally safe to Flair and what Flair was doing. So nobody was ever in harm's way in that aspect. But when you're asking your fellow wrestlers now to be in a position where, I mean, they could be carrying your fucking lifeless body out of the ring, that's not cool. And Flair passed out at the end of that match. That's really bad, guys. That's the worst case scenario. Other than he fucking passes out and can't get back to his feet, that would be even worse. But to see Andrade, man, have to hold his head up high, I mean, that was, or try to hold his head, it was very scary. It was sad. It was, I have a lot to talk about with that. I do, and it's going to be candid, and that's going to be coming up within this hour, all right? I'm going to be with you for the whole next hour on Amplified Live. So there's some mini stories I want to get to, then we'll get to the main course, man. These are going to be some appetizers. First, I need Sasha to hit my motherfucking, my coffee theme, because you guys know what we got to do right now. It's Monday. I feel like having a Folgers. You guys know where Folgers coffee goes, right? It's in your motherfucking cup, but you got to start off with that Folgers theme. I got it on screen too. Can you give the unit a little bit of that Folgers theme, Sasha? That Folgers theme song. Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
Folgers aroma roasted coffee made from mountain grown beans, richly roasted and finely ground for great waking up aroma.
That's it.
What that aroma can do, brighter day for me and you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Folgers, it's in your motherfucking cup. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Folgers, it's in your motherfucking cup. That's what we're drinking today, guys, on the in the coffee bar. I was gonna go with the Dunkin' Original Blend. I'm kind of just playing it original right now. This is my 5th coffee of the day. I already had a couple of Frozens, some cappuccinos. So that's what we're gonna get amplified on, guys. I'm gonna get right into it now. Brock Lesnar is where we're gonna start off. I'm just gonna say this straight out. He's not retiring, guys. He's just not. he went into the upside. I'm still reeling, by the way. BC still cannot comprehend SummerSlam. I mean, Io Shirai, Io Sky now, because Vince has to fucking put his put his stamp on it. Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bailey all coming back at SummerSlam. And then we ended the night with the fucking ring being 20 feet in the air like it's a magic carpet ride from Aladdin. A whole new world. And there's fucking Brock Lesnar playing the role of Aladdin. But he got up there, that fucking son of a bitch, after he got that beat down from the bloodline. He went all the way to the top of the fucking corner that was up 20 feet high, and he tipped his cap to Nashville, and everyone thought that was symbolic to him saying so long. We know he's not happy with Vince on paper being the CEO anymore, not being that, and so a lot of people thought he was just going to do this job and then he was out. But he is still being marketed for Day 1 in Atlanta, January 1st, 2023. That has not been taken down, along with a couple of other marketing ads that have not been taken down. And on top of that, if you think that Brock Lesnar is not showing up to Saudi Arabia, if you're thinking that he's not going to show up to Crown Jewel in 2 months, then you don't understand Brock and his money. That is an easy $1 million payday, guys. WWE gets $50 million per show in Crown Jewel. Every Crown Jewel, Vince gets $50 million. That's right, Vince. Still 80% on the fucking votes. He's still the majority shareholder. Vince McMahon still owns WWE. No retirement or said retirement will ever stop that. Vince, until he sells, Vince McMahon is going to own that shit. Have the majority shares. So they're going to get $50 million every single Crown Jewel. Now, what they do for the top guys that they bring back, like Brock, they literally give them $1 million. They say, hey, you want to make a quick Now, think about that. You got to hit the lottery for that, right? If you're a common Joe Schmo. No. Brock, you want to make a quick... No, this is not part of their contract, guys. This is a separate extra revenue. This is like a bonus that comes up in your check, right? If you work at the local 9-to-5 supermarket, you might get a $50 bonus for being employee of the month. Well, Brock's going to get $1 million fucking dollars. $1 million bucks to show up. $1 million fucking dollars to show up at Crown Jewel. Of course he's always show. That's why he always goes. Brock Lesnar cannot stand traveling. He doesn't care if it's fucking Massachusetts to Connecticut, Florida to Georgia, California to Washington. He doesn't give a fuck if it's South Carolina to North Carolina. He doesn't like traveling. You think he's going to like going to U.S. to Saudi Arabia, but why does he always do it? It's $1 million in his bank account. If you think he's just going to give that up 2 months before Crown Jewel, not going to happen, man. He is going to be there. So Brock Lesnar's not retired. And again, not just the Crown Jewel. That's not just BC speculating. He's on advertisements for events such as Day 1, which is January 1st, 2023. So this dude is locked up. He's not going anywhere until we get word. Elsewise, that's just not happening. It's the same with Sasha Naomi. Everybody speculated that they're released, right? And they're doing separate signings now, and their main name is first, and then it says in parentheses their WWE name. But until you see them off that page, guys, until they no longer have those WWE letters, they're still a part of WWE. An announcement has to be made. The paperwork has to be finalized. There's still a lot of people that think Sasha and Naomi have been released, but WWE's just keeping it secret and quiet because they're trying to let the smoke clear and they're still trying to work something out with them. No, then they're not officially released because it's illegal to have Sasha's and Naomi's picture on the main site. If you go to the roster pages, they're on there. That's illegal if you're released. You're not just... It's not just the fans that you're sending the different message to. It's your shareholders. You're saying that these top stars like Sasha is still with the company. Well, that's false in every pretense. You can't do that legally, guys. It's a legal PR nightmare if you keep them up and they're actually released. They just haven't said anything. No. So something is not right. The final paperwork has not been signed because they're still a part of them. Sasha and Naomi, some way, somehow, are still with WWE. Now, that brings me to Paige. Paige opened up earlier. This was in the last 24 hours. She was asked about Sasha and Naomi. Paige says she absolutely believes Sasha Banks and Naomi will return to WWE programming. especially with Triple H facilitating the negotiations now. We just saw that with Dakota Kai and Io Sky. We just saw that, right? I mean, you got to believe that that's Triple H's blueprint. Now, again, Vince is going to have the ultimate say. That's why he'll fuck with names and shit like he's always done since the beginning of time. Because Vince still has the ultimate say, even though he's retired. It's just about how much power is he going to allow H to have. I hope it's a shit ton. Because so far, we see things going slightly, but going in the right direction. I hope this keeps up. And if Vince wants to battle H on shit, I hope H takes his balls out of Stephanie's purse and bucks up to Vince McMahon, because I like what I saw at SummerSlam. I'm not going to get my hopes up too high like the rest of the community. Everyone's having a parade, a birthday party, a bar mitzvah, a fucking retirement party, the age of 27. There's any reason to have a party. People are having fucking wedding receptions and are not even getting married. It's a party because Triple H is in charge, but we don't know the extent that he's going to be allowed to create change. The little bit we saw, it's in the right direction. How much is Vince going to allow H to have? We'll see more tonight, right? SummerSlam was pretty much all written up. That's going to be Vince's little baby hostage anyway. But tonight we're really going to get a better feel. And I hope people are honest with it, right? I hope every little thing that might be looked at as decent is not going to be blown up to Triple H's amazing segment. No, let's be honest, because I saw people saying Street Profits Usos from SummerSlam was so good. Triple H did amazing. Guys, it was worse than their Money in the Bank match. Their Money in the Bank match was exceptional. This was downgraded by 67% easily. But people are now looking for everything and that's decent and calling it amazing because it's Triple H supposedly in charge. You got to be honest with it, right? If it's still the same shitty show, you have to be able to say it's still the same shitty show with slight improvements here and there, right? So you really can't say where the real change is. I hope people are honest tonight, because you can't give them a mulligan just because entitled Triple H is in charge. I understand Rome wasn't built in a day. We're not going to see grand changes in the first month or two, but by fucking 3-4, you better be seeing grand changes. I'm not waiting a fucking year. This dude, you're acting like Triple H has not been a part of WWE for decades. Triple H knows exactly what he's doing. Big changes could be made in 24 hours if you really want to be fucking justified with it, but I'm going to throw them a little bit of mulligans in time-wise and say, hey, I'll give you a couple months. But there's no doubt if you see Dakota Kai and you see Io Shirai, you got to believe that this is Triple H trying to mend some fences. So that's in the right direction. Now, Paige is saying, I don't see how Sasha Banks and Naomi go anywhere now other than stick with the WWE, because especially with H now facilitating these type of conversations, I mean, how in AEW has lost a lot of steam. There was AEW diehards that were literally sucking the AEW stick for a long time, and now they're riding Triple H's schnoz. I mean, they turned their backs on fucking AEW with the quickness. They're no longer the cool kids in school. Now it's back to H's WWE. I just sense this weird switch, this weird change in the tides, where AEW, who was the cool kids for the last 3-4 years, 3 years since they've been AEW, even a year before that, you started to sense the tides were changing. And now all of a sudden, I see a lot of people going, Triple H's WWE is where it's at yet again. So I see the fucking tides changing a little bit. And with that, you got to believe the wrestlers are seeing that. The Sasha Bankses, the Naomis, they're like, wait, maybe the grass isn't greener on the other side. If the tides are changing and that water is getting bluer here, maybe I should stick around. So maybe Paige is correct, man. A lot of people are saying that they just don't see how Sasha goes. And especially Naomi. Naomi's husband there, and the booking, man. It's just the booking. I don't blame them at all for walking out. Their booking has been bad for so long. The professional thing to do is to stand up for themselves. It's funny, when they left, they called them unprofessional. The professional thing is to stand up for yourself, finally, and not just be somebody's fucking bitch boy or bitch gal. So I'm so proud of Sasha and Naomi, and it's going to be interesting to see now with Triple H. Do they continue on their path out of WWE, or do they stay home? Remains to be seen as well. Booker T, is the latest to give his thoughts on Vinnie Mac retiring. He says, and he's also saying the same thing as most everybody else. Booker T says, he'll be back. He says, I'm not going to be shocked at all if Vince McMahon is right back, especially, he says, on TV, just in a character role. But he says, I'm not going to be shocked at all if he actually comes back. Retirement in WWE means nothing anyway. And Booker T, like so many others, they know that this retirement was because of the investigations. Vince was never going to retire a week before SummerSlam. And the exact wording in the SEC report, Vince actually resigned. That means he knew he was being forced out soon because of the investigation, so he tried to take control, the bull by the horns, take control of the situation before he gets thrown out. He was going to step out. So he actually resigned, but to us, to the public, he said he retired. That's two different things. He's coming back. He's always going to be in control. Again, I don't want to be the party pooper of the situation. I really want, even though he's going to come back, mark my words, Vince McMahon will be back, and Vince McMahon is still running this ship. But I really do hope that Triple H has at least most of the keys to the kingdom. I really hope he lets Triple H do things. I'm not saying he's the be-all, end-all. I'm not saying Triple H is going to be the savior. But it's going to be hopefully a hell of a lot better than the last 10 fucking years we've had in that company. Because the last 10 years, and I've watched over 3 decades of that company and this shit, the last 10 years have been brutal to watch. Just like my New York Knicks. I didn't stop watching. We raised our concerns. We voiced our displeasures loudly. And we hoped that there would be change one day. This could be it. It's not going to be the be-all, end-all, but it could be. So this is one of those things. Booker T is polarizing. You either love him or you hate him. People love what he says or doesn't. But he's right here, man. Vinnie Mac is going to be back because he's really never going to leave. It's just about how much power is he going to give to Triple H. Salute, guys. I'm going to talk some Eddie Kingston before I go into Ric Flair's final match. And boy, do I have a lot to say about that. But let me give a swig to all you guys, man, for an incredible Summerslam weekend. Talk about that in a second. Fucking Folgers, man. Salute. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you guys pulled in, we're about to hit 25,000 views on that SummerSlam live reaction. Watch along live review. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you guys know that. 25,000 views we were about to hit. Well over 1,000 on the ups. So you guys that just come in, show that love, smash that like. We're over 1,000 over there. 10,000 views came right in the 5 hours when we ended the stream. 10,000 people within less than 5 hours. I mean, you guys rocked it, and that's what I mean about smashing that up, helping the algorithm. We're a little baby channel in the community, right? We've been doing this 5 to 6 years. I know there's people that have been doing it years longer. I understand, and I don't do anything traditionally. We're a little ECW type channel, and I love it that way. But sometimes you just get those streams where you just captivate. You know, we had a lot of fun. BC was dropping a lot of knowledge. You guys were rocking in the chat, and before you know it, we're hitting 25,000 fucking views, bro. I mean, I know people in the community, they got well over 100,000 subscribers, and their videos sometimes maybe hit 20,000. I mean, what we did, guys, this past weekend, fucking A, it just shows how the BC Amplified channel is just, it's the best thing going today, man. We really are the best community. This really is a channel. If I wanted to do everything correctly, of course, we could blow up even more. I like the way we're doing it. We don't beg for anything. I ask for the ups, no doubt. But we never beg for subscription. We don't even bring that up usually, right? We don't even say, hey, subscribe if you like the content. No, never. It's just, hey, it's BC. There's the unit. Let's shoot the shit. See you next time. I don't do anything by the rules or by the YouTube playbook. And yet, we have nights like SummerSlam where we just fucking rock the community, man. And again, it's not just BC saying that. Just for me, it's not a pat on the back. It's a fucking thank you to all of you guys. The 25,000 that have caught that already. Man, fucking epic, dude. That's a salute to all you guys. Salute. I had to do one of those double takes. I had to look back like, what, the 25? What the fuck? But I knew we were rocking on that Saturday night, man. We had the balls to go head-to-head with WWE. Usually, content creators don't do that. They just wait to the fucking end. They try to do a fucking review, and then they battle amongst each other. BC went head-to-head with SummerSlam. BC went head-to-head with Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and their commentary. And you guys rocked it out of the park. Thank you guys, man. That's all you guys, man. It takes balls to go head-to-head with the WW. But BC, oh, bro, you know I don't give a fuck. Speaking of don't giving a fuck, dude, Eddie Kingston. Now, if you guys don't follow AE Eddie Kingston is one of the dudes that BC is really high on. It's just every time you see Eddie Kingston, you know you're going to get just believability. There's a realism in Eddie Kingston that you just don't get. You don't get with many wrestlers today. It's just this, you just sense it from the time he comes out, and then he gets on the mic, and it's just like, forget it. Remote control goes down, you're captivated. But Eddie Kingston has this thing where he's so truthful, brutally honest, that he rips apart, he verbally annihilates his own coworkers, his own roster. He just doesn't have that filter mode. So Eddie Kingston continues to verbally annihilate his fellow roster members. This dude does not bullshit how he feels about those coworkers, and in responding to a fan that said, I hate CM Punk, Kingston responded, I do too. And he goes, him and Bryan Danielson, I can't stand. And Claudio's a bitch too. Of course, that's Cesaro, guys. So he says, I can't stand CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. And Claudio's a bitch too. He says, and I quote, you guys don't understand. You guys see one thing on TV, right? I see stuff backstage. And then I get labeled the bad guy when I see that. And tell. Yeah, whatever. Just like in Chikara, when shit came down, when shit came out about Claudio, and people were like, oh, I guess Eddie was right. Look, I know I'm an asshole. At least I admit it. So he's taking you behind the curtain. He's saying, no, not just like in the ring. Like, this isn't just a cute storyline where I'm in character. I'm telling you, I don't like CM Punk. He says he hates CM Punk. That's a strong word, but all right. He says, I don't care for Bryan Danielson. He says he's a judgmental prick, is what he called Bryan Danielson in an interview a few weeks ago. He says, I don't care for them. He says, Claudio's a bitch, and I tried to pull him out. I tried to fucking tell it how it was years ago, and nobody wanted to listen until they found that out firsthand, and then went to me and said, oh, you're right, he's a dick. He's a bitch. I mean, this dude is, and he wasn't even done, guys. That's not even it. Eddie was not done. When asked about former ROH champion Jonathan Gresham, Kingston said this, and I quote, I don't know, man. He rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about him. He rubs me the wrong way. I mean, he came right out, man. And this is a dude who's trying to work out some drama with Tony Khan. Gresham and Tony Khan right now are at odds. And Kingston's like, whether he comes into the locker room or not, I'm going to let him know, I don't like him. I don't like your vibes. I don't want to be around you. Eddie Kingston, he gives no fucks. Now, some people love that about him, like BC, and then there's others that are like, dude, you got to tone it down a little because you're in the same locker room and you don't want to create a bad environment. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I mean, do you want an Eddie Kingston that is going to be brutally honest in every interview and every fucking waking second of the day? Or do you want an Eddie Kingston that just knows when to fucking tone it back a little, maybe not be so brutally honest with talent that's currently under contract with Tony Khan, so it's not a bad... How do you guys feel, man? Or do you like a little mixture of both? Tell it how it is, but just know when to tone it down a little bit. It looks like you guys love him being brutally honest, man. That's probably why you guys love BC's channel, too, man. We just don't sugarcoat, we don't bullshit. Yeah, some of you guys are saying both too. Know when to chill out. No, just don't blow everybody's spot up, and then you're all at a fucking dinner or something backstage, and it's fucking awkwardly quiet because Eddie Kingston has just fucking ragged on everybody. There was a very interesting story on Kingston, sticking with him for a minute. I'll get to Ric Flair's last match, man. Boy, do I have a lot to say. On the Sportster, there's this article in the Sportster, and it's well written. It's just wrong in some capacity. It's about Eddie Kingston, and it's labeled, I don't know if I have this actually. Hopefully I can find it. You know what, guys? Give me a second, because I want to get this right. I don't want to botch this because the label on it says everything. It says Eddie Kingston's AEW booking and constant losses is a major issue. That's the headline of the article. Eddie Kingston's AEW booking and constant losses is a major issue. And it goes in to say that every time it looked like he had momentum, he gets pulled back, and that Tony Khan doesn't know how to really build his homegrown talent. And it goes in deep about Kingston's losses. But this led BC, because it felt like he was winning a lot. It really felt that he was winning a lot. So BC had to do a little bit of research. You guys know I love numbers and statistics. So I did my research, and what I discovered was what I call the Bray Wyatt effect. You guys know what I'm going to say. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know what the Bray Wyatt effect is. It's when you... Well, I'll give you Kingston's last 50 matches, dating back from February 2021, all right? This is his last 50 matches. Guess how many matches he won out of 50, guys? Because the Sportster is saying he loses too much, and it's hurt him. He hasn't grown from it. He's actually... I'm not going to let you fucking mingle, because you can shout any fucking number. Eddie Kingston has actually won 37 out of his last 50 matches. That is 74% in favor of the win column. So I'm going to say that again. His last 50 matches, he's 37 of 50, 74%. That's way better than 50-50 booking. So you think, okay, well, he's got the good booking, so why does it feel like he just can't grow and his momentum is getting stumped? Well, this is where I call it the Bray Wyatt effect. Bray Wyatt, guys, if you go back to his last 50 matches, he is 35 of 50. So Kingston's 37 of 50. Bray Wyatt was 35 of 50. Percentage-wise, Bray Wyatt is 70% in the win column. 70. Better than 50-50 booking by a landslide. I would like the Bray Wyatt character to be at 80%, but he's at 70. A lot of these guys can't get out of the 50-50 realm. So Kingston's being booked at 74%. Wyatt is being booked at 70%. Why does it feel like they just can't get over the hump? It's the Bray Wyatt effect with Eddie Kingston. They lose the big ones. The big matches, they end up losing. Bray Wyatt, we all remember what happened with Goldberg. Super Showdown, one of those fucking events where he literally got handed to Goldberg. He got destroyed by Goldberg. Bye-bye title, bye-bye momentum, bye-bye Bray. We all remembered what happened in Hell in a Cell with Seth Rollins. A match fit perfectly for The Fiend, but the ref has to stop the match because The Fiend was getting beat up too much, and Rollins wins. Wow, did that destroy Bray and Rollins. Not buried, but destroyed him a lot. Made it a lot harder for them. Rollins has never recovered from that match. And Bray, well, we all know where he is now. Or no, we don't, do we? It's events like that. Randy Orton, WrestleMania, he takes one RKO, and bye-bye Bray Wyatt, bye-bye Fiend. These are matches you can't lose, the way he's losing them especially. But Bray Wyatt is 35 of 50. He's 70%, but he loses all the big ones. Eddie Kingston is 74%, wins most of his matches, but he lost to Bryan Danielson. He lost to CM Punk. He lost to Chris Jericho. He lost to Miro with that big TNT title match. So these are the big matches that Kingston loses. I call it the Bray Wyatt effect. So even though you're winning a lot of matches, you can't get over the hump, and you're not really carrying any big-time momentum for your fans to grasp onto because they're still looking at you fail in the big time, the big ones. You know, in a slighter way, you can look at that as like AJ Styles and Lexi, right? Alexa Bliss. AJ Styles collects way more W's than L's, but he's lost in obscurity. They don't know what to do with AJ Styles. Alexa Bliss, literally in a recent interview, said, I'm just Lexi. I'm myself carrying a doll, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't like this. She's calling out her own booking. I don't like this shit. What are they doing with me? I still have a doll because it's one of the best merchandise pushers on shop.com. And Lexi's collecting W's, man. So if you're just looking at W's and L's, Alexa Bliss is phenomenal. But why does she feel so irrelevant? They don't have any direction. They don't know what they're doing with her. Sometimes these are the rare cases where the W's don't really mean anything. It's the Bray Wyatt effect. I always say that, you know, unless you're not the Undertaker, where you can take something like 70% booking, and because you're the Undertaker, you're this phenom, you can always be looked at as special. In fact, Undertaker, what's Taker? Taker is actually less, correct? Undertaker is at a 68%. Undertaker is 34 out of 50. So the Undertaker has won his last 34 out of his last 50 matches. Undertaker is less than Eddie Kingston and less than Bray Wyatt. He's at a 68%. A lot of people don't think that Undertaker would lose 16 out of 50 matches, but he did. Now, the funny thing with Taker is that his last 50 matches, you got to date that back to 2010, guys. That's how many matches Undertaker does a year in the last 12 years. He doesn't do a lot. So his last, if you want to go to his 50th, his first out of the 50, you got to go back to 2010. But the point is, he's at a 68%, but he built such a phenomenon over the first 2 decades of his career that he can be 50-50 booked in the last 10 years and nobody would blink an eye. You know, these people are not the Undertaker. So Undertaker's got a 68%, Kingston's got a 70, Wyatt's got a 74, Lexi and AJ Styles are phenomenal, but why can they not get over the hump and carry momentum through the stratosphere? It's because their bookers, their promoters can't get them over the fucking hump. They don't give them the big matches. They don't let them collect the W's in the big time. And that's going to stump their fucking growth. So the Sportster is right a little bit with their article about Eddie Kingston. A little bit. The booking of Tony Khan to Eddie Kingston hurts him. But it's not the losses. He's got way more W's than L's. It's the big ones. And Eddie Kingston can be a much even bigger star than he is right now if Tony Khan realizes that. Of course, BC can't say that because Tony Khan and AEW doesn't want to hear that type of criticism. But I can help. I'm giving you the numbers. This is not an opinion-based channel. For any new subscribers, I know we got a lot from Summerslam. Welcome. You're going to realize I like statistics. I love numbers. I love giving you guys facts. That way we can all be on the same page. Still have dialogue. We can still disagree, do all that good stuff, but it's minimal because these are facts, right? Opinion channels, everybody can just spew opinions. They're like assholes. Everybody's got one. They're usually full of shit. So, that's Eddie Kingston's booking, man. I just wanted to touch up on that article while we were talking about Kingston flatlining his own roster verbally. Eddie Kingston has a really good win-loss percentage. Now, I'm going to get over to Ric Flair's last match. I know I saw some super chats up in here, man. I'm going to get to you guys right after this, I assure you. I'm going to stick with you guys a whole hour. We're just over a half an hour now, so even if it takes longer than an hour, BC is going to fucking make sure I give a shout-out to all my VIPs. I got you guys. So Ric Flair's last match was last night, guys. This was Ric Flair Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, Jay Lethal. If you want to find him on weekly television, you're not going to be able to because Tony Khan hides him on Rampage every Friday night. But my thoughts on this are this. This is going to be the positive, all right? This is going to be the positive because there's a whole lot of bad coming in a second. My thoughts are this. BC's... There's no sugarcoating this, man. I got to see a 73-year-old man, adult, legend, live how he wanted to live for just one night, albeit, but he got to live how he wanted to live. He got to do what he loves and is so passionate about one more time. Does it lead to 10 more times? Time will tell. But we know this most likely was it. And I got to see this guy do that, man. He's not hurting anyone else, and every move performed by and to Flair. Listen to this, guys. Every move last night. I watched the match back 3 times, by the way, while I was at the coffee shop early at fucking 5:45 a.m., by the way. I was watching it again. Every move performed by and to Flair last night was beyond safely performed. So he literally was not hurting anyone by going out there. Even that loud-ass guitar shot at the finish by Jarrett onto Lethal. That was probably the most damning part of the match. So this dude did what he wanted to, and it's your choice if you watched it or not. If you feel it was an embarrassment to wrestling, that's in the eye of the beholder. But that was Flair's decision to do that, and ours to either watch it or not. I love that this dude is living how he wants to live, man. Because you only got one. And for everybody just to tell him you can't do it because you're 73, not cool. But the health thing is what's at play. The health thing is what we all said. Now, if he's able to compete, then that's awesome. If he's not, now he's putting everybody into a shitty predicament. Not because he's going to hurt somebody. If you saw how Flair was moving last night, his speed was not going to injure anybody. All right? A fucking snail. You hear the term at a snail's pace? A fucking snail could move faster than Flair last night. He wasn't hurting anybody. And everybody was beyond safe with Flair. It's health-wise. Say this dude passes out from something, right? You're putting the wrestlers, they have to be the EMTs until somebody gets into that ring. I don't care if it's seconds or minutes. You're putting him in the position where they're seeing one of their fellow wrestlers pass away, possibly, right in front of their eyes. That's not cool. But there was physicians that said he is cleared. Many doctors said he's cleared. He said he's willing to go. I say let him live how he wants. We can either buy the pay-per-view or the fucking match or not. What happened last night, guys, is the worst-case scenario. Outside of passing away, right? Not passing out and not waking up. That's the worst. But he actually, legit, passed out in this match. At the finish. Nobody can tell you that's a storyline. Watch him yell the words to Andrade and watch Andrade have a look of panic come across his face as he tries to lift Flair's head up. Flair went to do the figure 4 and he just passed out. He went out. That's what happens probably when you're 73, you have a pacemaker among 17 other issues, and you drink like a fish. I'll go over the finish and say, let me start from the beginning on this match, right? You want my candid thoughts on this? I'm going to tell you from the beginning. The match itself was Flair and Andrade versus Jarrett and Lethal. Undertaker, Mick Foley, among others. Jerry Lawler, DDP, they're all there in attendance, man. Foley and Undertaker were front row. DDP was in the second row. Lawler was out there. Flair's family. Conrad Thompson's out there. Everybody's out there, front row. And I love watching Taker during this match. I told you guys I watched this 3 times, right? Because I don't want to just, when the red light goes on and we're live, I don't want to just give you my opinions. I like facts. You guys know this, man. So I want to make sure I watch the match from different angles. Because when I talk about it, I want everybody to be on the same page. I want you to really feel these words. Like if you didn't watch the match, this is what happened. So the 3rd time, I watched it from The Undertaker's perspective. Mark Calloway, he was seated right by his wife, Michelle McCool. Stage name, wrestling name. But he was seated right by his wife. And I watched Undertaker for that whole 3rd time a lot, like his reactions. And it was so cool, man. There was a moment when Flair, before the bell, flexed at Taker. He just put out his fucking arm, man. And Undertaker gave that nod of approval. That was just really funny, a good way to start it off, even before the bell rang. Then there was the moment where the crowd was chanting, this was right after the opening sequence, by the way. It looked like it was going to be Jarrett and Ric Flair, but Jarrett quickly tags in Lethal. And the first time I'm seeing this last night, I'm screaming at I'm like, no, you start off with Lethal and Flair, so Flair is more comfortable. Flair's been training with Lethal for fucking months. They just have that repertoire together. It's just magic. So luckily, Jarrett tagged in Lethal. And that's how we started. Now, after the first little sequence, where Flair gets taken down, but Flair's able to get the scissors over the head of Lethal, and then they both get up. Flair at a snail's pace, a sloth's pace, but Flair finally gets to his feet. And the crowd starts chanting, "You still got it! You still got it!" Now, at this point, Michelle McCool is saying something to Taker. When she stops, Taker hears the chant. Taker turns around to the crowd as if they're talking to him. "You still got it." It was awesome. This popped Mick Foley, who was sitting right next to Undertaker. So to the left is Michelle McCool. To the right is Mick Foley. Mick Foley starts laughing hysterically because Taker's like, "You talking to me? I still got it?" And you know he's watching Flair and he's like, "Well, I'm nowhere near 73. Maybe I got one of these bad boys out, man." So I just loved seeing that, man. That was so fucking cool to see Undertaker's, like, just how he's viewing this match. And Mick, for all of them, man. DDP looked like a fucking proud father during this match. DDP was like a proud fucking father, man. Like, he's really that dude. He's not just, he doesn't do it for what he did with Scott Hall, what he did with Jake Roberts and so many others. He doesn't do it for accolades, man. I mean, DDP literally just looks so happy to see Flair doing what he loves in there. It was really fucking cool. So I had to give that a fucking shout out as well, man. DDP is the real deal. Referee was one of the greatest of all time, Mike Chioda, so that was a great touch. Mike Chioda is the fucking guy. You got Shivani calling the match. Chioda's the referee. It was the perfect storm for something special. And then Flair just, man, it sucks because if you've seen so many Flair matches, you still want to remember him to be that Flair. And what BC said, I don't care what age he is, sometimes you want to see your favorite wrestler go down the ring, perform some of their moves, and get out. You don't even got to be the Flair of old. But there were times in this match where it was almost like he didn't know where he was, or he literally was about to pass out. If you've seen the match, again, I've seen it 3 times. If you've seen it once, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It just looked, it was cringeworthy a lot of the times. It was really, and I wanted to try to, I'm like, nah, save it, man. The crowd is still with it, you know, because we know what to expect a little bit, but then you see it kind of, it becomes more cringeworthy. I wish I could put it more into words. And I know as a content creator on a podcast, and you guys know I got the gift to gab, sometimes you're just at a loss for words, and you're just like, you want better for it, and it's just not going to happen. Flair could not move any faster, and he just could not get it together a lot of the match. He did everything he could. I'm sure of that. But damn, man. Flair was sporting the crimson mask. You know he had to. He was Mox before Mox was Mox. If you guys know Mox in AE dub, man, Moxley always has to sport the crimson mask. Almost all of his matches, Mox is always busted open somehow, right? Well, that was Flair back in the day. For those youngsters out there that didn't see a lot of Ric Flair back in the day, this was homage to the past. By the way, his attire was the old butterfly robe, the white and purple butterfly robe, and he also brought back, it looked like the old school NWA championship. It was just a blast. Again, you had Shivani calling this shit. It's pretty badass. So he was sporting the crimson mask again, man. You knew Flair was going to in this thing. I thought Lethal was the legal man at the finish, all right? Now, I did see this 3 times, as I said, but when I asked myself that the second time, when I watched it the third time, I had completely forgotten to fucking make sure of it. So I still now have to watch the finish a 4th time, unless one of you guys can confirm for me. But I thought Lethal was the legal man. But Jarrett goes to hit Flair with the guitar. Flair is able to get out of it, I think with maybe Andrade's help. The guitar smashes over Lethal's dome piece. Andrade, the referee's out at this point. Andrade slips over the brass knuckles over to Flair, something like that. Flair decks Jarrett with the knucks. Jarrett's knocked down. Flair goes for the figure 4. This is where he passes out. Again, I thought Lethal was the legal man. I'll go back and watch the finish a 4th time. When Flair goes down for the figure 4, he just passes out. I mean, he's not trying to sell it like he's even trying to win. Another referee comes out, counts to 3. At this point, when I say Flair is out, I'm saying his shoulders are down, guys. Flair's shoulders are down more than Jarrett's, probably. And Jarrett's were pretty much down, as much as you can go. But Flair was out, like lifeless. So, technically, I mean, you got to call... First of all, I don't know if he was the legal man to begin with. So, Flair shouldn't have won. I know I'm dissecting it a little much, but that's what I do here. Number 2... Flair was pinned too, man. This is a no contest, or the match should still be going. This will be one of the longest matches in the history of wrestling, currently at fucking 19 hours. But Flair was pinned. He was passed the fuck out. And it was odd because everybody was like, okay, I know you're selling that you're fucked up, but I mean, you talk about the selling here. There was one point where Flair was faking a heart attack. He faked a heart attack on the outside in front of The Undertaker. Lethal bought it a little bit after a while, and when he did, he got the fucking poke to the eyes. So Flair faked the heart attack and gave the fucking double poke. Dirtiest player in the game is what he was always known as. But, so it's awkward now. Okay, this goes beyond selling. Okay, now it looks like people are starting to wonder, is this dude even alive? He was out. Now, you see Andrade come in. He's smiling. He's like, okay, bro, you're good job, but you can get up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, show something. Andrade's like, dude, I know you're overcome with emotion. Flair yells up to him twice. I passed out. I passed out. Andrade now has a look of panic. Andrade thinks quickly. He goes to just scoop his head up because he doesn't know what Flair needs. Like, oh, shit. So he scoops Flair's head up. And Flair now comes to a little bit, and he flips over onto his side to get better breath. If you guys have ever been knocked the wind out of you, once you turn over a little bit, your lungs can fucking go the other way. Flip them a little bit, man. Get that breath in. Flair flipped over, and then Andrade smiles because he doesn't know what... He just knows the camera is on him. Andrade smiles looking right at the camera, just like, hey, everything's good. And then Flair, takes 10 minutes, what it seems, to try to get back to his feet. But he looked up at Andrade when Andrade was looking up, and he straight out said, I passed out. I passed out. Could you imagine your last fucking match, your last victory? You don't remember it because you legit passed out. Could you imagine getting a victory while passed out? That's what happened here. It was a figure 4 leg lock pin. I mean, I'm just rocked by that, man. That's the worst case scenario, other than, I mean, he literally passes away. That's the only thing. I mean, for him to pass out in the match is what everybody feared. Because now you're putting your wrestlers into a panic situation where they got to play EMT. Thankfully, he was able to wake up after the pin. And again, you watch Andrade. He quickly, a moment of panic, and he scoops his head up to try to get him some extra air. I mean, Andrade should not have to do that, guys, and that's the problem. As I stated at the beginning of critiquing this, I love the fact, 73, 123, that he's doing what he loves, and if it's not actually harming anyone, then fuck everybody. Let him live his life. It's our choice if we want to view it. The problem becomes, if you are truly in bad health, you should not put your fellow wrestlers at risk. I'm not saying Flair's going to hit him too hard or fuck up a move, or they're going to hit him too hard. Because if you watch the match, there was nothing performed that was going to put anybody in danger. The danger comes if you fucking die in that ring, and those wrestlers have to live with that shit the rest of their fucking lives. That's where the problem lies. And that amplified unit is why it needs to be Ric Flair's last match. I love the guy. I was behind this last match thing. I'm glad he got it out of his system. I'm glad he didn't pass away. But he almost did. That's the facts. He almost did. He passed the fuck out with a pacemaker at 73 because he wrestled a match. That has to be it. You cannot put your fellow wrestlers in a position where they can watch you fucking pass away right in front of their eyes and have that guilt going forward. So that's my take on it. He did it. He got it out of his system. Awesome. Nobody should be passing out at the finish of their match unless they took fucking 19 tombstones, 16 pedigrees, 12 super kicks, and the sharpshooter for 31 minutes, 6 Stone Cold Stunners, 5 Rock Bottoms, 4 Jake the Snake Roberts DDTs, 3 Batista Bombs, 2 Figure 4 leg locks, each 20 minutes apiece, and 1 Ultimate Warrior Power Slam. Then and only then should you be legit passed out. With a Randy Savage top rope elbow drop, by the way, for good measure. That was scary for a lot of fans, man. That dude passed the fuck out. That dude passed the fuck out. I couldn't believe it. That was what you were hoping wasn't going to happen, man. But, you know, sometimes your mind is telling you one thing, right? You get older and you get older and you get older. I'm not going to speak like I'm the fucking wise man, you know, when I'm 73. But you get older, you start to think like you're still fucking 18. Your body quickly tells you, bah, we ain't 18. So Ric Flair still parties like he's fucking 21, 18. He parties. He said he's going to party with Kid Rock after the match. It's sad that he quit drinking for so long and now he's just pounding bottles back again in shots. And Ric Flair, I don't know how much longer he has, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the Scott Hall situation all over again. They were doing good for a while, and then they just said, fuck it. Same thing as Scott Hall. Scott Hall had the fucking gimmick in his fucking chest, too. Pacemaker or something like that. And Scott Hall still continued to just do what he was doing until it was his last day. Ric Flair's the same thing. He's got the gimmick, and he's deciding to just go out his way. It's a little selfish because you have loved ones, but he's gonna party his last however long he has. So he's trying to live like he's still 18, 21 years old. But the fact is, his body, everything else aside from the mind, is 73. So, you know, I never like people telling people what to do with their lives. If it's not harming anybody else, if it's really not bothering or harming other people, who the fuck are we to tell somebody how they should live their life, or it's going to be an embarrassment to pro wrestling or anything. But now, I mean, there's no choice. If we really think about it, guys, we all have to now say, congrats, Rick, last match, much love, all the best. That's got to be it. It's not just about you anymore. Now it literally is about your fellow competitor. You're passing out in the ring, man. The only step outside of passing out in the ring is literally passing away in the ring. That's harsh, but you guys know that I'm correct. He already passed out. The only thing higher is passing away, right? Like you pass out and you're not able to wake up in a good amount of time. That's it. So I'd like to be wrong in my assessment, but all the facts are telling us that's it. So if I ever hear that Ric Flair is wrestling again, I can no longer view it. I cannot call it. I cannot talk about it because I'm just enabling a horrible, horrific situation. So I think that's a fair assessment of Ric Flair's last match. Afterwards, Shivani tried to interview him. He gave a speech right in front of Undertaker. He started to come to a little bit. I think he apologized at one point. I truly believe he tried to put on the best show he could. And I enjoyed it for the most part, man. The match itself was of course, it was slow, sloppy, bad when Flair was in there, of course. But the spectacle of it, what we love about pro wrestling in terms of the spectacle, that match had all of it. It was more about the moment, the spectacle, than the wrestling. You're not going to get a fucking catch-can classic. You're not going to get a mat technician, an aerial assault. You're not going to get all that. You're not going to get a 5, 6, 7, 28-star classic. Meltzy's not going to be there with his notepad going, oh, fuck, this might hit 7 stars. No, you're not going to get that. This was more about the spectacle. It had all of that. The Undertaker being front row alone, fucking as a spectacle. But we have to be honest and talk about this dude looking at Andrade and saying, dude, I passed out. And Andrade going, what? I passed out. And Andrade trying to lift his head so he can get oxygen. No wrestler should ever have to do that to their fellow professional wrestler. JR, is that correct? Rick also didn't know where the exit was when he was leaving. I didn't even know that. He didn't know where he was. He passed the fuck out. I mean, that's got to be scary. And then he went to party with Kid Rock afterwards. You know, I just can only imagine what his kids are thinking, what Ashley is thinking. But I want to think about the good of it. You know, the good of it is Flair got it out of his... You know, they never do. You say they get it out of their system, and then today, he's probably wanting one more match. I just hope this time everybody says, no, Rick, you did it. We did the thing. You got the cash grab. We all got to see you one last time in there. You got to do it. That's it, bro. So that's what my thoughts are on that, man. So that's some little stories as the appetizer. That's the main course I got for you guys in today's Amplified Live. Ric Flair's last match. That's the traumatizing truth about it. That's just what happened last night, a legit pass out. And before we end this, man, where are we? We're almost at an hour, but I'm going to stick around for as long as it takes to give a shout-out to my Super Chat VIPs, man. So let me go over to the start of it. Strict Tango kick this bitch off. Strict Tango with that 2-spot says, the shock value behind Io and Kai's return is straight fire. Bro, I'm still not over it. This is Strict Tango. This is what happened at SummerSlam is what I've been asking for 10 years for this company to do. Pay-per-views used to have surprises and just fun moments that you literally went back and watched. Do you guys want to know the sad truth? Strict Tango, this is going to be that's my answer, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. I have been watching pay-per-views the last 10 years from WWE, and I never go back to watch a damn thing from it. In other words, I watch it once, and I basically forget about them, sadly. I used to watch pay-per-views from WWE, the Big Four, when it was just Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. No pay-per-view every month. I used to watch them. They would be so epic that I would watch most of them 76 times a piece. I would watch pay-per-views, or at least the moments, because there were some really epic moments. I'd go back and watch them because the atmosphere, the moment was so special. The last 10 years, I can't count, or if I could, it would be on one hand, and that's being generous, how many times I went back to a pay-per-view to watch even a moment. Do you guys realize I rewatched the moment of Kai, Shirai, or Sky now, and Bayley. I've watched that already 3 separate times. And I've watched the Brock Lesnar ring situation with the tractor. I've watched that in its entirety 6 times from 6 different views. I mean, that's when you know you witnessed fun moments, epic moments that are going to stand the test of time. And that's what SummerSlam brought us to, man. I was actually finding myself going back and watching this shit several times. How cool is that? So Strict Tango, straight fire indeed. Youngblood 085 5 spots says Bayley, Io, and Dakota don't even as little as a team name yet, and it's already my favorite faction right now. Youngblood 085, that's what I echoed out at SummerSlam when I was doing the live review. Live watch-along reaction. I said they were standing in the aisleway, and BC was already like, that's my favorite. I don't even like factions, period. Youngblood 085, you've been with this channel a long time. I hate factions. I don't like 6-man tags. I don't like 8-man tags. It looks like we're going to see a lot of this with Bayley and shit now. But I don't even give a fuck. I mean, Bayley, Io, Dakota. Take the fucking... just take it. Take the fucking wallet, bro. I don't care if this is on Peacock or it's on fucking Amazon Prime for $100. We're showing the fuck up. Dakota Kai is fucking back. Strike hard, strike first. Dakota Kai. Io Shirai, one of my favorite wrestlers, female-wise, aside from Sasha Banks. You put them on a team and you put Bayley with them? Come on, man. Youngblood 085, that is fucking epic. Those 3 together. No 3 can actually take... What 3 is going to take them out? I mean, Amp Unit, in the chat, what 3 women... realistically, right? You can't just throw 3 women together, a powerhouse team. realistically, what three women would come together to beat those three? I mean, if you're a head of creative in WWE, what three ladies are you going to put together? Becky, Asuka, Bianca, James Shrimp Fajita. Okay, so Becky and Bianca do have a little something, but Asuka has some beef with Becky a lot. Would Asuka team up with them? I'm saying creatively, you're going to have to come up with a really good way to have Asuka team up with Becky. Because there's not any love lost there. Toxic Attraction, there's no way they could compete though, Alexi. Well, I mean, I love Toxic Attraction too, man. I mean, what they did with Mandy Rose and Gigi, all of them. That faction is really fun and badass. But there's no way they're beating Bayley, Io, and Dakota. Yeah, Alexi, you want to bring back the Trish, Lita, Mickey? Even today, that would be fun as fuck, bro. Yeah, if Sasha and Naomi get together with another female, maybe then Asuka, like Eddie says, that would be pretty bad. So there you go. I mean, there's some combinations, no doubt, but there's going to be very limited combinations that can legit beat three individuals that are Bayley, Io, and Dakota. That's a super team. It's a super team. It reminds me what LeBron James did down in Miami many years ago when he formed a super team in the NBA with the Heat. A lot of people said, "Oh, that's unfair. You're basically, it's a cheap championship. You're forming a super team. You're not doing it the right way. It's not like how Patrick Ewing tried to do it with the Knicks when he was the star and that's it, with the role players. It's not like Michael Jordan. Yeah, he had Scottie Pippen and fucking Rodman and Harper, Steve Kerr. But Jordan was the guy. You're going down there and you're forming a super team. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they still hoisted up championships. I don't even like LeBron James. I'm a Michael Jordan guy. Michael Jordan growing up was the fucking hero. And that's as a New York Knicks fan. You put respect on Michael Jordan's name. If you grew up around the time BC did in those 80s, Michael Jordan still to this day is a fucking god of sorts. He is a hero to the umpteenth level. Michael Jordan can never be topped. So I'm not even a James guy, but I'll be the first to say it doesn't matter how he got there. He hoisted up those championships. Well, it doesn't matter how Bayley, Dakota, and Kai get there, right? They can hold all the titles for the women. If they bring back tag titles, they can hold them. Singles titles, you'd believe it because this trio is fucking amazing. Jimmy Fingers 2019, Jimmy Fingers. What a SummerSlam we had, huh? What a fucking showing for SummerSlam, man. 25,000 views on the SummerSlam review. You guys rock. I truly believe Flair would have been fine dying in that ring. He is like a lot of these aging rock bands. They know nothing else but craving for the spotlight. I wouldn't be surprised if he dies in less than a year without it. Jimmy Fingers 19, I think there's truth to that. I don't think, obviously, he wanted to. But I do think that that's the way. He said that before, Jimmy Fingers, in many interviews. Everybody trying to tell me what to do. Just let me die in the ring. I mean, Ric Flair has alluded to that and straight out said that many times. So there's no falsity in that statement when the guy himself has said that many times. And as far as the rock bands, again, Jimmy Fingers, if you still can go, rock out. Like, for instance, I went and saw Def Leppard at Madison Square Garden a couple of years ago before the pandemic hit. They were with The Journey. And it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Journey and Def Leppard, like the hair bands from the 80s. And yet they're putting on one of the best performances that I've ever seen just a couple of years ago. Def Leppard and Journey, they still look the part. They're delivering. They're fucking shit up. They're leaving fans fucking going home happy, thrilled, and waiting to buy more fucking multi-$100 tickets in the future. The problem arises, Jimmy Fingers, when you literally can no longer go, but your mind is telling you, fuck it, do it anyway. Like if Def Leppard ever hits the stage and you have lead guitarist tripping over the bassist, the drummer is dropping his sticks mid-fucking, the drummer, Rick Allen, he's only got one arm. Believe that shit, man. The drummer for Def Leppard got into a car accident when he was younger. He only has one arm, and he's one of the best drummers, man. He's got a whole different type of electric drum kit. But that's like him dropping his stick because he's aging and he can't hold it. Fucking Joe Elliott, the singer, is skipping over the words, and he's fucking holding his heart while he's... Right, you don't want to see Def Leppard anymore. It's over, unfortunately. It sucks. No, they weren't doing that. They were literally rocking the fuck out. Ric Flair last night, he wasn't rocking the fuck out. And that, Jimmy Fingers 19, is the hard truth. So your statement, there's no falsities in it. Jimmy Fingers 19 is absolutely correct. Colin 199, do you think Ric Flair shouldn't wrestle anymore? Colin, yes. It's sad. I love the dude. Listen, he got it out of his system last night one last time. Okay, Mulligan, throw it over to him. Congratulate him. Say all the best in the future, dude. Thank you for that one last moment. But you should never be passing out in the middle of the ring because you're 73 and you have a pacemaker and you don't know where you are. Because that's what happened last night. Colin, appreciate it, man. Ron C, 23, 199. Ron C says, BC, you are right. Change doesn't take forever. Rocket ship through the stratosphere. Ron C, 23, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are being too lenient. They're like, give Triple H at least a year. It's going to take a year. Guys, Vince McMahon is always going to be in full control, even though he's got the term retired attached to him. It's still Vince McMahon's bitch. He literally is a majority shareholder as it is, and he's not going to just be at the beach sipping a libation with one of those little umbrellas on the top of the fucking drink. That's not Vince. Vince is constantly going to be running WWE. The point is, how much power is he going to give H? So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. But I'm not going to give false praise or think the product has changed when it's not. And I'm not going to give Triple H a year to make the changes that need to be made. Triple H, we're acting like he hasn't been a part of this company the past fucking 2 decades plus. He has been. He knows exactly what needs to be changed. Most of those changes can be done tonight, last Monday. So no, BC's not giving this a year, bro. I'll give him a full month up front to pick shit apart and see where he wants to move some puzzle pieces. No doubt, I'll give some time. I'm not giving a fucking year. This company needed to be changed years ago. You think I'm going to give it another year? Fuck that, bro. Ron C, 23, exactly right. Jimmy Fingers 19, another 519, says, I want to see Cross open Raw tonight with his NXT intro, with Scarlett sliding out from under his legs with all that ham, all that ham hanging out. She was fire last night. Yeah, she was, dude. I just don't see how you... A lot of people, Jimmy Fingers 19, if I can piggyback off of that comment, a lot of people used to give Cross a lot of shit when he was in NXT because they said he was smoke and mirrors. And I love how in one of the feuds he had, I think it was with Adam Cole, Adam Cole actually used that in an actual promo live on TV. He said, you're all smoke and mirrors. You're nothing without your entrance, your old lady, all of that shit. But what BC was thinking is, who the fuck cares? WWE Pro Wrestling is a spectacle, right? So that's what drew people to Cross and Scarlett, then so be it. Mark Calloway has talent. We know that. For a big dude, he can do crazy athletic things. Many people say, including The Undertaker, Mark Calloway has said many times, without that gimmick at that time, there's a chance Mark Calloway never gains the success that he gained, especially at The Undertaker level. No way. He could have still gained success because he's uber talented, but he would have never gained the success like The Undertaker and that name and that character gave him. Even he admits that. So how did he gain those levels of success? It's the spectacle of it, right? Whether you guys like it or not, I'm going to drop a name here, but this guy helped The Undertaker tremendously. He was the actual creator of it. Bruce Pritchard. Without Bruce Pritchard and his vision for The Undertaker over the course of the first several years especially, The Undertaker would have never gotten off the ground. That was actually Bruce Pritchard that did that. So I got to give much props to Bruce Pritchard, as Mark Calloway does all the time. But it's the spectacle of it, right? So who the fuck cares if it's smoke and mirrors? If Cross ever comes back, let him be Karrion Kross. Let him have Scarlett with him. Bring back all of the bells and whistles and watch us feed into it. Because it's fucking amazing. Jimmy Fingers 19, no doubt. All that ham hanging out. I love that shit, man. What a beautiful girl indeed. Osea Weidman's up in this bitch on a Monday afternoon for Amplified Live. Osia 1999 says, BC, you should have read the comment section of the Ric Flair's last match last night. It was hilarious. These cats were going in, brah. I bet. I don't like to read that shit, man. I knew it was going to be rough. Especially when word got out that he legit passed out. I thought for a few hours people were going to think it was just storyline, right? Oh, he passed out because it was a rough match. He never actually passed out, BC. No, I knew from the beginning he did. I have people that were actually there, and they told me the scoop, what was going on behind the scenes. 2 doctors had to check him out. They said he was fine afterwards, but they said he was fine going into the match, and he passed the fuck out. So who the fuck are these doctors? They suck. I hope none of you guys have to see the doctors that Ric Flair has, because they cleared him for this shit, and he passed out in the middle of the ring. Legit passed out. So the same fucking doctors are clearing him after the match, saying he's okay. Well, he's not. He passed out, bro. But I thought for a few hours it would be like, okay, kayfabe, and he didn't really pass. No, immediately people understood that he legit didn't know where he was. He passed the fuck out. He laid lifeless at the finish of the match. He was done. Andrade panicked. Andrade's trying to lift his head up. And then Andrade finally smiles when Flair turns over, and he's trying to like sell it like nothing's wrong. It's all good. You see him tell Andrade, I passed out. So Osia Weidman, when I found out quickly that everybody else knew that it was a legit pass out, I'm like, it's going to get ripped to shreds. They're going to get ripped to shreds, brah. Osia, good to see you up in here as always. JR9 Gaming! JR9, what a SummerSlam we had, dude, huh? Fucking incredible. Those statistics, those numbers on that vid is through the roof, man. 25,000 views on that shit. I was going head to head. We were going head to head with the WWE, head to head with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. And we pulled 25 G's, man. Again, I know people with over 100,000 subscribers, and they struggle to get 25,000 views on most of their vids. Bro, we fucking hit that grand slam Saturday night. Thank you, unit. JR9, it was so good seeing you up in here, man, as always. I just want to give that extra shout out. JR says, Kevin Owens is another one like Kingston. He loses too many big matches. Here's an awful stat. KO hasn't held a title since July 25th, 2017, which was the U.S. title. Are you fucking kidding me? Kevin Owens hasn't held a title since 2017. 5 fucking years, half a decade? Now, JR9, I always say there's some characters like The Undertaker, like Bray Wyatt. They don't need a championship, right? And I'm not saying Kevin Owens needs a championship, but he greatly benefits. Kevin Owens is not in the category of The Undertaker or a Bray Wyatt. So while I'm not going to go as far as to say he needs it, Kevin Owens should be getting fucking titles, but more importantly, lengthy title reigns and care to his booking. 2017, bro. 18, 19, 20, 20. That's a hard 5, too, by the way. That's a legit 5 years if you go year to year. 2017 to 18 to 19 to 20, 21, 22. And now we are on our 6th year because that's July. We're now in August. So now he is on his 6th year. That's incredible, JR9. Wow, man. I'm just thinking about that. I love numbers like that, man. I love statistics and all that. It just makes you think, you know what I mean? Like, it justifies when we yell or rant or vent, right? Why you take it so seriously? It's just wrestling, man. Well, first of all, I have a show. I'm supposed to entertain, you know? So BC has to put the volume. Every time this red light goes on, I got to put the volume up, obviously. I'm not going into Starbucks and yelling at people over wrestling. I don't scream over Bray Wyatt losing to Goldberg and then go into Starbucks and start fucking power bombing baristas because they forgot to put vanilla in my vanilla latte. No, I'm putting the volume up because I'm supposed to entertain, man. You guys don't want to be here if I'm just like, well, today's show was good. Ric Flair had his last match. It was good. He passed out. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, anybody, if you want to come over and watch. Just subscribe and then be here at 3 o'clock tomorrow, okay, on the channel. It's going to tell you. It's going to notify you. Bye, everyone. No, you don't want to show up to that. Yo, who the fuck is this bum? No, I entertain, man. We're going to fucking yell a little. We're going to put some amplification into this shit, right? We're passionately talking about what we love, man. So I love that shit, man. I love that I get to fucking do that. Numbers and shit like that. I get to passionately fucking, like, it justifies it, right? When we yell and all that, and people go, oh, you take it to, well, no. These are people's livelihoods. These are their careers on the line. And if you wonder why they're not important, why they can't seem to get momentum, why their careers look like they're falling fucking apart, and why people are getting released left and right from the company, it's because of shit like that. And then you look at the numbers, and it's like, oh, we now have answers as to why they have no momentum. Pretty easy to see. Anyway, Jer9, appreciate that, man. Savage 1024, the Punisher, man. What up, Savage? Let me give a proper fucking salute to Savage 1024, the Punisher. 10 spot. Did you hear about the beef between Santana and Ortiz? I'm not sure if it was right until I heard Conan say that they were not on good terms. What's your thoughts on it? Savage 1024 with another separate 5 spot says, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what those stooges keep telling me. And he brings up some other creator that is saying that. I don't know what you're saying, Savage. I don't follow any other creator. I don't know about Santana and Ortiz having beef. This sounds like total rumor to me. It sounds like bullshit. I would just stop listening to anyone else other than BC. How's that? That's the best way I can tell you. What? Is that bias? What can I say? I mean, everybody else just seems to be a fool these days, man, giving false information. I haven't heard anything about Santana and Ortiz not liking one another or having beef. So, Savage, I cannot speak about that. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. I don't watch. I don't think you guys understand. I don't watch anyone else in the community. I don't. I literally do not. I don't have the time to watch other people. I watch the product. That takes enough time. Recently, I just got Wednesday nights cleared off my schedule. I don't have to watch Wednesday night wrestling anymore. That's awesome. I don't have time to watch other fucking people spew bullshit about the products. So, I mean, just telling me what other people say. It's bad enough that other people have shows or channels and they say a bunch of stupid shit, and then their people who also watch BC, respectfully, they come over and they go, BC, did you hear about this? Or did you hear about that? And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. Well, that's bullshit. Well, who'd you hear that from? And they go, well, my other podcaster that I listen to. Well, bro, I don't know what to tell you. They're bullshitting you, or they just don't know what they're talking about. So I don't know what to tell you guys, man. If you come to here and you start talking about some other creator is talking about a wrestling angle or two, or Ortiz and Santana, or I don't know what to say about that because it's bullshit. But Savage, it's always good having you up in here, man. But I have to say I don't know. Nothing more I can tell you, man. I only speak facts on this channel, and I keep it that way. I try not to do the whole speculation thing. Where are we now? Oh, shit, we got a few more, man. We're well over an hour, but I'm going to stay with you guys, dude. As long as it takes, get all my fucking VIPs up in this bitch. Jimmy Fingers 19 with another 519 says, I am seeing unconfirmed reports that Sasha and Naomi are coming back. I won't believe it till I see it, but I can see it now with TK's Adderall booking. I got a pop from BC, bro. Jimmy Fingers, they never went anywhere, man. So if they come back, they just stayed put. They're still on the roster sheet. They still have WWE after their names on their socials and the letters. They didn't go anywhere yet. I understand they're doing autograph sessions under their names. Something was worked out where they can do that during their time with WWE. But there's a reason Sasha said, I'm not taking any wrestling booking until 2023. There's a reason she said that. Because she knows damn well if she's able to get out of WWE, wrestling-wise ain't going to be any time this fucking year. So they're still somehow with World Wrestling Entertainment. So Jimmy Fingers 19, those reports are true because they never left. Osea Weidman, another $9.99 says, BC, I've been reading several sources that Triple H has made a deal with Sasha and Naomi. They might be backstage tonight. Oh, so Jimmy Fingers, maybe you're talking about like imminent. Like immediately they're going to be seen back on programming. I just went over the story with Paige. She's talking more about it, and she's like, I wouldn't be shocked if they're right back on programming. I'm not saying Paige knows more than anyone else, but she does hear things. So for her to say, I wouldn't be shocked if that's where they wind back up on programming soon. That tells you something. Osea, it appears that's what a lot of people are talking about right now. So maybe they're backstage tonight. I haven't seen anything new. Yeah, I haven't seen anything new. I'm checking my reputable, not just dirt. I don't like to just check dirt sheets, man. I have some reputable people that I check in with. I didn't hear anything about that, but they didn't go anywhere. And if they do show up on WWE program, remember who was the only fucking podcaster that never bought into the release stories. It was me. That's not a pat on the back. It just goes to show you I'm your one-stop shop when talking about all this shit. Because I'll never bullshit you, man. I'll always talk about the actual facts with the trajectory of reality. Osea Weidman, we'll see. Carlos Ray! Carlos, 5-spot. BC, thanks again for the SummerSlam live stream. May have been the live stream of the year. Salute to you in the unit. Carlos, salute, bro. Wasn't that a huge stream? That was 4 hours long. I don't know if you guys realize that. We went 4 hours live. Ain't no other content creator does that shit. They might go 2. They may even go 3. BC went 4. And I could have went another 4. Carlos, man, when you guys showed up and you rocked that chat out and you rocked this fucking channel, man, did we get more amplified. 25,000 views, bro. Over 1,000 on the ups. 100 new subs, by the way. I mean, you guys just rocked out, man. That wasn't just BC. We all showed up, Carlos. Salute. JP, the Mocha. I like that shit. JP, the Mocha, $9.99. The product makes no sense. The superstars have no soul or identity. Rhonda says one night how a person's mom failed them, then smiles and gives high fives the next night. Oh, I totally agree. This is the shit that needs to change immediately. JP Damoka. If we're talking about what Triple H is changing, that's one of the things that changes right now, right? We don't need to wait a year or 6 months for that. Ronda Rousey, how do you book her? Easily. Be a badass machine. A heel who gives no fucks. There you go. BC just literally booked Ronda Rousey in her future. It's not that hard. A heel, badass, gives no fucks. There you go. That's her tagline. That's her character. Why the fuck is she smiling? She was playing a little bit of a heel on Friday night, and then she's fucking holding up the hand of Liv, who just beat her in 4.5 minutes at SummerSlam. No. That can never happen. That's not something we can hold off for a year or need to. Triple H can do that right now. Go into Stephanie McMahon's fucking office, the new CEO, and start making fucking demands. This needs to be checked. Rhonda should be going into Steph's office and making these fucking demands. Rhonda has a good relationship with H. Why is that not changing tonight or SmackDown, whenever she's fucking on next? That needs to change. That's what I'm saying. All these changes, I'm not waiting a year. A lot of it needs to change this week. We gave them the first week to get acclimated. This week needs to be a ton of fucking change. JP, the Mocha. No fucking doubt. I absolutely agree. Unique Butterfly with a 5-spot and a 2-spot. A couple of fucking Dunkins. Unique Butterfly. Good to see you up in here as always. There's a lot of praise for Michael Cole for his commentary last night. Oh, you mean Saturday night. Well deserved because he brought energy and passion while commentating. I feel he's been better ever since Pat McAfee came into WWE. Unique Butterfly. So he's getting praise Saturday. But that's also because people are praising a lot more than they normally would have. If Triple H was never announced in a head of creative role or with any power, people would still be shitting on a lot more than they did Saturday night. But because Triple H has been in this power role now, people are willing to give a little more. They're forgiven a lot easier. So little things like that, they're not, Michael Cole seems to be amazing Saturday. No, Michael Cole has been really good since Pat McAfee showed up. He's really upping his game. So that's not a Triple H thing that lit a fire under Cole's ass. Pat McAfee lit that fire under Cole's ass. And now we're reaping the benefits of that Unique Butterfly. Unique also says it's now put up or shut up for Levesque tonight. No doubt. As I was just telling JP DeMocha, tonight, this week, is going to be a real indication of just how many keys to the kingdom Triple H has. The main door, that's locked by Vince McMahon. Nobody's getting there. Triple H is not going to get in the main door of the castle. But we know that Triple H does have many keys to the other rooms. How many keys did Vince McMahon give him? How much power does H have? Tonight, we're going to get a clear indication. Last night was the acclamation week. Starting tonight, we see how much control H, Stephanie, they really have. Unique Butterfly. Salut. I want to switch over now over to Lisa Matcher with that 2 spot. Lisa, let me give you a proper salut. Lisa says Liv calling herself the new baddest female on the planet. Is she? Is that what Liv is that? If that's true, Lisa, it's badass if you want to fuck around with Ronda a little bit, which is I mean, that's kind of dastardly because Ronda, after the match, lifted the arm of Morgan, and now Morgan's turning around and talking that shit to Rousey. I kind of respect the fuck out of that. And hey, if you're not going to turn Rousey, then Liv Morgan's going to fucking call the bluff. Liv Morgan's going to fuck with you a little bit. I love Liv Morgan has so much momentum. She can call herself whatever she wants. BC's down with this shit. So Lisa Matcher, that's funny if that's actually true. She should be now. She beat Rousey in 4.5 minutes. Savage 1024 The Punisher with another 10 says, yes, I agree. You're the only one I listen to. Other creators are just sucking up because, like you said, tribalism. What Tony Khan did to you, your reviews, has happened to me as well. Some people are just cowards. Yeah, some people just don't want to. I mean, AEW was founded upon, Savage. AEW is founded upon these principles. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what needs to be changed. We're listening. That's what Cody said. And then the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan echoed the same sentiments. When people like BC fairly critiqued, they tried to silence. It's bullshit. That's what it is. But you know what? It gave BC Wednesdays off. I don't have to watch I don't have to watch any more wrestling than I fucking have to with WWE now. And that's fine. AEW needs people like BC to watch. BC doesn't need AEW. I have plenty of wrestling to watch. I can watch NXT on Tuesday nights. That's pretty fucking entertaining, actually. Savage 1024 The Punisher with a 5 spot says, BC, you should run a wrestling company. You know what you're doing and talking about. Savage, I appreciate that. It takes a lot of money to run a wrestling company. And I just don't know if I want to dedicate the time to that yet. Maybe in the future, I'll do a little something. I may want to, I don't know if I can get back in the ring again. I took some bumps back in my day, but I don't know if I want to get back in the ring. But I may find a prospect. Maybe I'll fucking manage somebody to the world championship one day. And one way or the other, you guys will see me in the biz, in a main company. One day that is going to happen. Thankfully, unlike other people in the community, I haven't burned bridges to the point where people don't want to work with me. I mean, even Punk, I think, is a little better now. I hurt Punk's feelings a while back, but I think he's a little better. But I try not to burn the bridge. I literally just speak the fact. You got to be a little funny. You got to add some comedy to it. Sometimes you're going to hurt pro wrestlers' feelings, but you'll see me one day. I don't know about owning my own company, though, Savage. That's a lot of work, bro, and I don't want to be just another person. Maybe I'll work with Freddie Prinze Jr. Maybe I'll help him out with his new promotion that he's going to get going over there in, I believe, California. So maybe I'll help out. I don't know about owning my own, though. Savage, I do appreciate the words, though, man. Maybe you should run a wrestling company. You know what you're doing and talking about. I'm good at this wrestling thing, man. I don't need people to tell me that. I knew from a young age I'm really good at pro wrestling. I'm not that great at other things, believe it or not. It may seem that way, and I bullshit my way to people fucking thinking that I'm good at other things. Pro wrestling, I was always just flawless at. I always dissected it differently, even as a young BC. Grown-ups would be, will you just watch the match? And I'm like, well, the headlock is placed wrong. Shut up, BC. Watch the match. But wait, his shoulders were down too. That's a double count. Strict Tango Strict Tango, it's kind of fitting. You started the super chats for today's Amplified Live, and you're going to end them, man, with that 2 spot. I missed the Titantron being a part of wrestlers' entrance. Me too. 1,000,000%. It was one of the funnest things when they used to come out, and you see that big, giant fucking Titantron blasting all of their images and top moments. Strict Tango, that was when it was fun, man. Strict Tango, I'll go a step further, by the way. I'll go a step further. I miss when pay-per-views had separate sets. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, every pay-per-view would have a different setup. Like, if it was tables, ladders, and chairs, it was a unique setup with the stage. If it was Hell in a Cell, it was a unique setup. If it was In Your House, a unique setup. If it was SummerSlam, it was different than WrestleMania. WrestleMania was different than Royal Rumble. Most of the sets the past 10 years up front, it looks just like the same thing, man. It's like you're almost watching a Raw or a SmackDown. Slight changes, maybe. But I miss when sets were different. So, Strict Tango, I'm taking what you're saying and I'm just kind of stretching it a little bit. I'm broadening it out a bit. If they could just do those unique sets, it would make the atmosphere, the feeling of the pay-per-view, the premium event, it would make it feel so much better. They just don't. That's what I mean about they don't care anymore. They don't take the time. They just push out the same set every pay-per-view every month, and that's what I mean about Triple H. If you really are going to bring change, sometimes it's those little things that are not so little. It's huge in the grand spectrum. Something as little as, the same set. BC, there's other problems. No, that's one of the main problems. Like, fix them. Those are things that, right now. Oh, I just snapped. Ready? Let's do it again. Ready? Boom. Let's do it. Yeah, right there. Every time I snap, a change can be made. It just takes a decision. Triple H tells the person in charge of the sets, you know what? No more. New sets. What is it? $3,000 extra? $5,000? $10,000? Okay, we're going to budget. Talk to Frank. We're going to get this in. We're going to have a meeting on Thursday. Boom! 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 That's how it works in a conglomerate billion-dollar company. So if you're truly going to bring in change, you got to have the little things as well. So I guess what I'm saying is I want different sets. Every pay-per-view should feel different. Every pay-per-view should feel different, guys, and that includes the sets. Let me go to who that was. Hold on. Let me go back. Who was that? Strict Tango. Absolutely. You were talking about the Titantron. That led me into a whole other problem that I have with WWE today. Every set just being the same. Fix the fucking staging area. Show that you give a fuck. Jimmy Fingers 19, another 519, says, anyone catch the Sean Ross Sapp, Billy Bahati confrontation at Starrcade? Looked like two basketball players arguing, not willing to make a move. Jimmy Fingers, I don't know who Billy Bahati is. Bahati. Is that I don't know who that is, Jimmy Fingers. I know who Sean Ross Sapp is supposed to be reporting. Why is he getting into confrontations? Is Sean Ross getting into the ring? Do I got to manage Sean Ross Sapp into a victory? I don't mind Sean Ross, man. I have a problem with most people in the community. Sean Ross Sapp is not one of them. I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't know him personally, by the way. Maybe he's a fucking douche, but he gives more right stories than wrong, so I appreciate that. In a community that gives bullshit stories too often and speculates too much, Sean Ross Sapp is a fucking pretty... he gets his shit correct more than it's wrong. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I don't know who the other guy is, so I don't know. And I got to be honest with you, Jimmy, I'm probably not going to go back and try to find it. That's funny. Too funny. Hold on. Who was that? Jimmy Fingers? Yeah, I tried to tell you, Jimmy Fingers, I really don't watch anybody else, man. I just don't have the time. I'm amazed that I can get so much wrestling in during the week, and then when it's something epic, like Ric Flair's last match, and I knew I had to talk in depth with all my facts, I had to watch that 3 times. I went back and watched some of the Summerslam moments several times. So I'm just happy that I get those. I got the time to do that, man. I can't be looking at Sean Ross Sapp getting into fucking street fights. Jimmy Figures 19. Salute, dude. Oh, hold on. I think one more gave... Hold on. I think somebody else came in here. Hold on. Maybe not. I think I got Sean Ross, right? Sean Ross. Jimmy Fingers. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Guys, if I missed anyone, I'll get the full list. As I always tell you, in the next video, I will give you a shout out. But I think I got everybody, man. We stayed an extra 35 plus minutes to make sure that I got everybody. Make sure, man. All right. I think I got everybody. It's very important to me that I get all my fucking shout outs, man. So, and to anybody that does that super thanks thing later, I will make sure I give you guys a shout out in the next video. So don't worry, man. So that's where I'm going to end it now, guys. I know we went over an hour, but always expect that. I know I say from 3 to 4-ish, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Amplified Live. Sometimes we go, okay, all the time we go past 4. Sometimes we have to start late, too. Thank you guys so much, man. What do you guys think? Man, if I... All right, I'll have to, like, literally jet now. I have a lot to take care of. But what do you guys think? Should we do a 1-hour live Raw review tonight on the channel? 8 p.m. to 9 Eastern Time. If you guys want me to be live in a few hours for the first hour of Raw, we'll do a live reaction for the first hour. What do you guys think? Or do you want me to just do the 3 hours tomorrow? I'm not going 3 hours live. I'm just saying I can review all 3 hours. Otherwise, I can do the first hour live tonight, and then tomorrow I can review the last 2 hours as I normally do. Yeah. Do the hour. Looks like most of you want the first hour live tonight and then do the other 2 tomorrow. No, I don't want Shore. This isn't. I'm not being 50-50 booked here. I got fucking Iron Riaz and other people saying Shore. Who's the other? Who the fuck? Come on, Chris. Guys are like, oh, sure. I can do it, basically. I can fit you in, dude. Hold on. Whatever, basically. All right. What time? 8? No, all right, I'll be here at 8:21, basically. Sure. Fuck it. I'm not. What are you 50-50 booking BC? Oh man, you gotta fucking you got the fucking yes or not, man. I'm just playing. All right, guys. Maybe we'll do it. I'll see if I can, man. I'll see if I can get everything done up front, and then afterwards, you guys are too funny. Sure. Hey, do you want to go on a trip to a European trip? Sure. Much love, guys. Hey, thank you for an awesome Amplified Live. We'll do it again Tuesday, not tomorrow. Yes. For those of you new to the channel, Amplified Live, we do it every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 4 times a week, 3 to 4 p.m.-ish Eastern Time. This week might be a little different. We might have to do a Wednesday show because I'm not sure if I can do Friday. So there might be a tweak in the schedule. We might have to do a Wednesday live and then Friday because I'll be out of state. It's a long story. I'll have more information for you guys tomorrow. Guys, until next time, which again could be later tonight, make sure you smash that up on the way out. I forgot to mention that. And you guys are already on the way to 300 live. I appreciate the fuck out of you guys, man. You guys rock. SummerSlam, again, thank you for the numbers that you guys helped post. 25,000 views for a little ECW channel. I'm not supposed to become a big deal, but it just happened. It just happens. When you're really good at something, you just become bigger than other people thought you'd become. It happens. Sasha, you know what to do? On the way out, can you hit my motherfucking music? That's right. I like that shit. Jackie Leader, Top Guy. I'm fucking out. That's steel. That's fucking steel. Salud.
buddy. Thank you. Check you guys later, man. Thank you.